Hey nerds, welcome to Nerdosophy. If you're wondering, yes, I am wearing the same shirt because I'm filming this in the same day as I filmed the trailer episode. So let's talk about reboots. I wanted to talk about reboots because, well, since a certain trailer came out last week that was a disappointing, very unfunny trailer of Ghostbusters, I was starting to think about reboots and how reboot culture is not there. There's good, bad, and the truth, and I'm gonna explain to you guys to it in 3 different parts. So part 1 is the bad, and the truth is mixed in with both of them. So the bad is they don't care about how we feel about the movie. These companies really don't. They want us. They just see our money. They using nostalgia, and they're banking off nostalgia strictly for that purpose. They even had the original Ghostbusters theme played on a piano, and they made so many references to the original Ghostbusters, yet this is a reboot and it has nothing to do with the original universe. That makes sense totally. Putting Slimer in it, which I bet they don't even know why Slimer's really in it in the original, which is fine. It's okay, because at the end of the day, we still have the originals, and that's part of the good part. And they'll give this to anyone, and they're trying to feed off of people going to the movie just for the name purpose. And then they get mad when people compare it to the original. And I said this before, and it's sad I gotta say this. I'm not saying this because it's a woman cast. I'm cool with it being an all-woman cast. Perfectly fine by me. But when they make it unfunny, and they do typical stuff, like they got a Hemsworth to play the secretary, and in the newest trailer that came out, I guessed it. I knew it was gonna happen. They were gonna do a gag about how good looking he is and have one of the scientists, or all of them, drool over him, and they actually did it and put it in the trailer. Come on. Can we do some highbrow, some smart stuff where you have to think about things? There is a positive side to everything, though. And to talk about the positive side, it's at least the original is getting more notoriety from this. Because I watched this trailer, and then I watched the original Ghostbusters about 3 times, because I'm like, I want to watch something good that has good content to it. And I enjoyed the movie again and again and again because I love Ghostbusters. And it's sad to see this being a portrayal of Harold Ramis's idea with all the guys. It's just the chemistry was there. In this trailer, in the trailers of the new Ghostbusters film, there's no chemistry. You don't see it. You don't feel it. You think these people are just paid actors to act like they're friends and to act like, oh, we're buddies and stuff like that. And the original Ghostbusters had scares to it. It was creepy. It made chills go up and down your spine. There's nothing in the new trailer that was scary. It all seems like it's comedy, which is awful because it doesn't get the point. But back to the good part. Sorry, that tangent of Ghostbusters still. And I'm using Ghostbusters as an example because it's the latest reboot that is causing a lot of attention. But there is good things that involve properties when fans of the properties get a hold of it. When you look at J.J. Abrams and The Force Awakens, there are people who don't like it. I love it. Of course I do. But I would rather that, where it had hints and touches, but it felt like a Star Wars movie. It felt like one. After we had the prequels, which didn't feel like a Star Wars movie, this felt like it had heart to it, and it had soul in it, and we needed that. This Ghostbusters reboot doesn't have a soul in it. It doesn't have a heart. It has nothing to it. It's just empty and hollow. And it's like, it's a cash grab. You're watching it going, they're trying to make money. And you look how simple the first two Ghostbusters were. A lot of people don't like the second one, but still, how simple they were. They had one main villain. One. That's it. You look at this one scene where there's like 50 ghosts flying around and you're like, what's the point of that? You're just throwing things at a camera now expecting something to stick. And it's not going to, because it's just not there. Like, of course they had multiple ghosts in Ghostbusters, but like, it wasn't like you didn't see them all in one place and them fighting it, because it's not an action movie. Ghostbusters was about a bunch of out of shape ghost exterminators, and they're trying to make it an action comedy. It doesn't make sense. When people who get their hands on it don't get the franchise, it hurts the franchise. But it also helps, because then people are like, this movie was so bad, I'm seeing the original, and I'm showing my kids the original. There's a reason why over 30 years later, the first Ghostbusters still holds up. It may not hold up time-wise, where it's like they're smoking cigarettes openly, the tech looks really weird and old and clunky, but the story, the characters, the interactions between them hold up, and that's what matters. So that's my full opinion on Reboots. It's a cash grab, but if it's in the right hands, if it's in a nerd's hands, a person who's cared about the franchise's hands, it could be great. But if it's not cared for, if it's done by someone who's like, oh, I totally understand and know the franchise, and said there are 4 scientists instead of 3 scientists, and someone who just needed a job and will believe anything if you pay him a steady paycheck, you don't get the movie. How could you not understand that part? So reboots are good and bad. They're sometimes a reawakening and a reimagining and inventive, and also like an honor to the source material. And sometimes they're just a cash grab, and unfortunately most of the time they're just a cash grab. We need more nerds to direct films. We need more. If you want a good reboot, have someone who cares about the franchise. And also, it wouldn't be a reboot, it would be a sequel. Because nerds don't want to take over and take a stamp of that. They want to make it and add it to the universe. You know what I mean? So that's my full thoughts and ramblings on reboots. What do you guys think of reboots in general? Do you think they're necessary? Do you think they're not? Do you think they're good, bad for the franchise? Let me know, comments below or on Twitter. With that being said, I'll see you guys next week, and stay nerdy.